I don't know about you, but lately it seemed like I found myself on the wrong side of the algorithm. While people have always tried to change their appearance to fit the latest trends or to make themselves look more physically attractive, I feel like the last few years of social media have really taken things to an extreme. Like, we're definitely on a new level. And part of that is this increased pressure to do some amount of what they're calling looks maxing. In some extreme cases, people are literally trying to break the bones in their face with a hammer, doing their own plastic surgery, or actually just getting more and more procedures done on their body or their face to try to fit a certain beauty standard that is increasingly unrealistic. In this world of looks maxing, it's almost like people are trying to become more physically attractive by any means necessary. And what's kind of squirrely about it, it's not actually clear that people are becoming more attractive by doing these things. There's a very specific look that people seem to have the more and more work that they have done that seems sort of plastic or inauthentic. The reality is that most people don't actually know what drives attraction, like what actually makes people attractive. I'm not really talking about what makes someone swipe right on you on a dating app, but more what are the sorts of things that give people an incentive or motivation to spend time and energy and effort to get to know you. This is really important to know because clearly it's not all the plastic surgery, it's something else. And it's something more psychological than something that is physical. Now, obviously, I'm kind of talking about like romantic relationships, but the principles that I'm going to share with you in this video actually apply to all relationships. So whether you want to have more friends, want to have a better relationship with your coworkers, or just get along with your boss, it doesn't matter what kind of relationship that you're trying to cultivate. What I'm going to share with you today is going to make you more attractive despite what you look like. I'd like to narrow in on dating just for a second, though. The more that I think about it, the more crazy dating actually is. It's like, first of all, you have to find someone who you think is attractive, and they have to also think that you are attractive. To top it all off, you have to be single at the same time. Then there's this sort of bizarre dating ritual, texting and talking phase and dating with all of these unspoken expectations. And if you do everything right, you slowly but gradually elevate this person to be the most important person in your life. Like, that's the objective. It's almost like you're out in the world interviewing people to be the sort of like CEO or CTO of your personal business. I don't know that I just pick up strangers or someone I met on an app to fill that role. I think that's kind of crazy. Like, am I the only one that's crazy? Am I the only one that think that's bizarre? Like, if two people meet and it doesn't quite work out, then they just go back to being strangers. It's like those are the two options. You're either complete strangers or they're the most important person in your life, and there's no in between. So it's no wonder that people are struggling to find love, especially in this post-COVID world where half of relationships seem to be started or initiated via apps. People aren't approaching each other anymore. We're losing third spaces. It feels like there's a bottomless list of excuses and reasons why people haven't been able to connect in the real world. At the end of the day, there's two things that people are looking for if they want to be in a relationship with you in the modern world. Ultimately, if a person has these two things, that they can become more physically attractive to us over time. So there's like this first impression kind of attraction that people can have, and then there's this sort of gradual attraction that accumulates over time as we spend more time with someone and get to know them. You have to be someone that other folks kind of want to get to know. Criteria number one is, well, ultimately, we get into relationships because we want to make our lives better in some ways. I don't know that I would get in a relationship with someone if I had the feeling that it was going to make my life worse, right? And that's true of romantic relationships and friendships and all kinds of relationships. And so criteria number one is ultimately, do I feel like being in a relationship with a person is going to make my life better in some ways? Especially in romantic relationships, we're dating for the long term in mind. Like, some people are doing short-term dating and maybe this doesn't apply to you. But if you're dating for like the medium or long term, you're trying to get married or settle down or have kids or, find someone who was willing to sign a mortgage with you, or those big commitments, you have to have a lot of confidence in your mind that the other person is going to make your life better indefinitely. So if the answer to the question, is this person going to make my life better, a no or a maybe or a probably not, if it's anything but a convinced yes, like, people will skip out on you and look for someone else. And that's especially true today because oftentimes folks are better off single than in a relationship with someone who doesn't make their life better. Like, even if you don't change a person's life at all, like even if it's a net neutral when you're dating or in a relationship, even if it just stays the same, then I might as well just be single. And that's the sentiment that a lot of people have right now. You are comparing your best single life to what you could potentially have in a relationship with someone else. They'll probably entertain some like short-term relationships, like hookups and situationships, but ultimately the person who will stick is someone who we're convinced will make our life better in the long term. It actually wasn't that long ago that being in a relationship was probably better than not like being in a relationship at all. 100 years ago, a man and a woman kind of needed each other for the roles that they had in society. It's only been recently that people have had better quality of life or the potential to have a better quality of life single than in a relationship at all. And it's sort of raised the bar or the standard. The other thing that makes this particularly difficult is that you can have a number of wonderful qualities as a person. Like, you can be handsome or pretty or attractive or whatever that is for you. You can have a lot of money, you can have a good career, but each individual person has their own goals in life. Like, they have in their mind these sort of like existential level goals of things that they want to do. You can have a great human resume, but if you don't have the particular skills or a complementary sort of set of traits that helps a person to get further in their specific goals, then they'll pass up on you. And that's kind of frustrating for some people. For example, if there's someone who has a lifestyle that's around the gym and you just happen to be a lawyer, you spend 100 hours a week working and you make $1 bazillion a week, but you spend zero of that time in the gym, and all of their goals are around fitness and health and marathons. Even if you're a great person on paper, you actually might not be able to further their goals, at least directly. If you're just not compatible, it's not going to work. They're not gold diggers as much as they are goal diggers, like Goal. Are you the kind of person who is going to make someone else's life better by being in a relationship with you? We think of these things as superficially as materially, like, do you have enough money? But really, what you should be thinking about is, do you have skills or a value set? Are you willing to support someone generously in their goals? This is something that you should be ironing out really early on in any relationship. Second is that, people nowadays think of their relationships as life elevators, as life enhancers. We want to be happy in our relationship. When people talk about wanting to be happy in their relationship, what they're really referring to is they want to have positive experiences. Put differently, if I get in a relationship with you and it's not fun, not any more exciting, or it's not any more interesting or intriguing, like if it doesn't give me positive experiences or emotions, then I'm actually not going to find it that interesting. Again, you can have the best human resume, but if I don't have fun with you, then I'm not going to be interested in the relationship. This is interesting because things like wit or humor or sarcasm goes a long way in what it means to be attractive. People imagine what it's like to be around you or with you, and if you seem fun, then in their mind they equate that to having a good personality. So what we should be doing when we're dating is trying to find ways to have fun with people. It's almost like fun maxing as opposed to looks maxing or something like this. We leave a good impression on other people when they leave an interaction going, wow, like that was a cool person. How many people have even gone on job interviews, and the job interviews was not figuring out whose resume was better than the other. It was all about, like, who do I actually want to work with? Like, who would be more fun or interesting to share a cubicle with? So in order to have fun, you have to play. And like, play requires games. And I'm not talking literal games. Like, sometimes it's literal. Sometimes you can go to putt-putt or bowling. Oftentimes the games are social games. They're conversational. Can you have that back and forth with someone that keeps their attention? Sometimes it's being interested or passionate about things that you care about. You want to find people who want to play the same kinds of social games that you want to play. Again, because people are dating for this sort of long-term intention often, if you don't imagine that someone else is going to be fun to be around, or that's not going to be interesting, or they're not going to look forward to spending time with you, and you intend to be with them forever, well, the idea of not having fun forever is sort of existentially crushing. People get bent out of shape when they think about their relationships and they say, wow, I'm so nice. Like, I'm so generous. I'm so kind. At the end of the day, nice isn't attractive. fun is attractive. And some people aren't particularly nice, but they're really fun and entertaining. This is how comedians get away with being really uncouth and talking about things that are offensive and using really jarring language. Things that if it was coming out of the mouth of someone who we just were sitting in the booth next to in a restaurant and we heard them say that, we would be appalled. But because they're on stage in the context of a comedy show, we think of it as fun and everybody laughs. So it sounds really simple, but the emotion that people feel when they experience fun is something like joy. And at the end of the day, people should enjoy spending time with you. So what we describe as chemistry is almost two things. It's first, do you find a person attractive? And second, do you actually enjoy being around them? Those two things are enough for a person to not just swipe right on you on a dating app, but actually bring people back, because when I play a game and I have fun, I want to play again. I enjoy the idea. I look forward to the idea of playing the game again. And so those are the two things ultimately. First, you should be fun maxing. You should have an enjoyable experience with another person. And that means that you should be able to play with them. You should be able to have a good time. If you're looking for ways to get to know people, connect with people, what you should do is pick things to do together, have experience together that you find fun. If you really enjoy board games, invite them over for a board game night. Play the game, and it's clear that you're having fun and you're laughing and you're having a good time. That sort of enjoyment is infectious amongst people who would enjoy doing the same thing. If they're not the kind of person who vibes with that kind of experience, then it will be obvious because you'll be laughing and smiling and having a good time and they won't. And then it's just clear that you're not compatible. Assuming that you vibe well, they'll have a good time and they'll want to continue playing. Second, because people are goal diggers, not gold diggers, disclose your goals, talk about your passions, and be inquisitive about what a person wants out of life, what they want. Some of these existential questions can be difficult, you're likely to get some I don't knows and I haven't thought about it. But it does show that you are interested in adding value to their life, and by pointing out the things that you care about and that you value and that you're passionate about, you're also planting seeds, hints of oh, this is how you can provide value to my life. And if you're trying so hard to be nice or to attract this person to be a good fit for them that you never actually see if they're going to be a good fit for you, then you're going to find yourself 6 months, 1 year down the line feeling really unappreciated for the value that you bring to the table and ultimately resentful in a way that you're going to have a hard time airing out in couples therapy at some point. Incompatibilities aren't exactly flaws, they're features. If I showed up and someone has goals that I'm not compatible with or doesn't think I'm fun, no hard feelings. I'm not maximizing for being attractive to everyone. I'm just trying to be attractive to the kind of person who has fun and plays games and enjoys life the way that I do, and that ultimately I can provide value to their life and vice versa. It should feel like a win-win scenario. So if you want to be more attractive, absolutely go to the gym. But before you inject yourself with a bunch of fillers or try to get liposuction out of your cheeks to make your face look a certain way, try these two things. Know your goals and know how you are best equipped to support other people in achieving their goals. And second, identify your passions, your values, and what kinds of experiences that you want to have with others. Bring others into your world. See if they enjoy being there. By being crystal clear about these two factors, you'll be maximizing for the things that actually drive attraction for the right people. The people that you are most compatible with and have the best potential to have chemistry with. I've been Dr. Fraser, but you can call me Julian. I'm a licensed psychologist, and these are the kinds of subjects that I love to nerd out about. I'll be bringing more insights from my experience in clinical private practice, but also just from my own passions and research. So if you've made it this far, leave a like and subscribe, because I plan to bring more nuggets of inspiration like these to future videos. Hopefully we can fun max together. Thanks.